Hello and welcome once again to another episode of my YouTube channel. Today I want to discuss raised garden beds. Now here in Perth, where it's particularly hot and the soil can be at times a little bit shitty, as in it's a little bit sandy, and really anywhere that you have soil that really isn't conducive to growth, the next step to actually kind of go to is raised garden beds. Now I shall take you to my one. It's not particularly raised, but it's just raised off the ground. So the benefit of actually having it off the ground is you can choose exactly the soil that actually goes into it, and you don't really have to kind of condition your soil. You actually build it up from the bottom. Okay, so as you can see here, I have my raised garden bed, and like I said, it's not particularly high. It's only say what, 6 inches at most off the ground. But that allows me to not worry about too much about the actual kind of too much in the way of kind of stuff that I actually have to fit into it. Now, as you can see here, there's a mixture of like quite a few kind of different things I've got in here. Down the end, I've got like some mint growing. There's some squash. There's some New Zealand spinach, which is kind of like more of a ground creeper. There's some tomato, which has spontaneously kind of just come up because I've taken most of this soil from the chicken coop. So as they process all the fruit, they often kind of process these seeds and leave the seeds in the soil. So these are kind of like volunteer ones, so we'll just see how well they do. There's also some Egyptian spinach in there, which is something which is a green which you can grow in the rather hot conditions over here, as its name might suggest. It can put up with fairly high heats, which normal salad greens and stuff you can't actually kind of grow in this type of weather. Along with various kind of peas and beans that I've just all thrown in there. Now, like I said, there's a mixture of things in there, and the benefit of actually having that as opposed to kind of rows of lettuce or whatever kind of plant you want to put in there is you deter somewhat the pests from actually kind of coming in, because they don't see it as a smorgasbord of like things you can feed on. And so in that way, what you do is you achieve a mixture of different plants which aren't all kind of on like some great big pests menu. So the mixture of the different things kind of confuses them somewhat. It's not a monocrop. Some of them actually kind of you may find actually may help each other. Some might give shade and stuff. And as you can see here, I've actually structured a small wire like a top to it. So what that will actually do will be it will actually help some of the actual creepers to kind of crawl over there, provide a little bit of shade to the things underneath, and obviously from that point on I may have to actually make another trellis actually on the fence here. So basically, when you actually, this is a pretty small raised garden bed. If you were to have larger ones, that some of the problems that you often have will be the fact that you have to fill quite a lot of space. Now, normally what some people would actually do is to use rocks and various other kind of building materials as a base, so that you don't have to kind of fill the entire thing with soil. What I've actually found myself, which is pretty good, is an adaptation of an Austrian originally coined term, which is hugelkultur. Now, hugelkultur is a little bit different to what I'm actually doing, but basically it's to do with a wood core bed. So essentially what you do is you fill the insides up with bits of wood. Now as this breaks down, so you just kind of roughly chop up wood, you fill it up like half to 3/4, depending on how you're feeling about it. As it breaks down, what it will do is actually provide a little bit of hydration as the wood becomes slightly more absorbent to the moisture, and it encourages a mycelium network, which is like a fungal underground network which helps the plants access extra nutrition and hydration from other parts around. There's a kind of symbiosis going between the actual kind of the mushroom and the plant, if you like. So that's a way of actually filling up your raised garden bed, should it be, you know, about waist level and stuff. Okay, I think that's all I can say about the that particular subject. I did cover hugelkultur and wood core beds a little bit before in a previous video, but revisiting in the terms of raised garden beds. So and in fact I may have actually even done this subject before, but I'm going to repost it anyway, and yeah, if I've done it before, then I'm just repeating myself.